Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome aboard day 2 of Full Throttle. We kicked off last night at 9 o'clock Eastern with our welcome aboard brief. This is a must watch. It is posted on the replay page. All you need to do to watch that is head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for Full Throttle Replay. I got into my background, the background of Top Gun Options, going on our 10th year in business. I went through our trading methodology, strategic, operational, and tactical, how we trade here, and also went step by step through our 7-step trade plan, which we're going to execute live in the market at 1 o'clock Eastern today in our primary live trade. If you haven't registered, all you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. Once again, the FT stands for Full Throttle. Hey, make sure when you register with your name and email, throw your cell phone number in there. We don't spam it or anything like that. What I'm going to do is during our live trade briefs this week, I'm going to send out an email and text alert. Even if you aren't a member here, I'm going to demonstrate during this free Full Throttle week the live text alerts and emails that you get as we place trades here in our model portfolio. The flight schedule of events is on the page here, Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Like I said, we have our primary live trade brief. We're going to take a look at CSX, big railroad, reporting after the close. We're going to take a look at what's going on in China and maybe a spread on FXI, which is the iShares China ETF. Maybe another pre-earnings trade on Amazon. We placed a trade last Monday, closed it on Friday for $1,500, 71% gain in 3.5 trading days. So having a blast here. Come check out what we're doing. Iran still sitting on the back burner, stewing in the background. The Brits are returning the tanker that they seized in Gibraltar. I think the captain's still under arrest, however, and Iran's still kind of beating the war drums. A little, I'd say, détente over the weekend where the dear supreme leader, which sounds like something in Taco Bell, said, hey, we're always willing to talk, but you got to ditch the sanctions first. That's the same Lucy with the football bullshit that they did under Barack Hussein Obama and John Kerry. We're not going to fall for no banana in the tailpipe here, Iran. And guess what? This dude's going to take care of Iran before they even become a threat to us. Okay. But anyway, we have to keep on an eye on it. You know, half of the world's energy and oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran says they own it, and they'll shut it down whenever they want to. Remember, what was it, about a month ago? Tanker attacks blowing up, drones getting shot down. We've kind of backed away from that, but this is a sleeping giant that's not going away. Same thing over here. Yes, last week we authorized the sale of $2.2 billion with a B dollars in arms sales to Taiwan, which of course China believes is a renegade province and we think is a free country. We have a defense of Taiwan agreement from the late 70s that we said we would always defend Taiwan against an invasion from China. So what did they do after we authorized those arms sales? They did military drills off of Taiwan and are going to sanction U.S. defense firms. You know who they need to sanction? Not too many of our defense firms do business with China. They need to sanction Google because Google is an arm of the People's Liberation Army. Peter Thiel said this yesterday. I saw him last night on Tucker Carlson. I didn't need Peter Thiel to tell me this. General Joseph Dunford, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told us this ages ago, testifying under oath. Even though he's a Marine, he's a Marine, doesn't have to testify under oath. But he said under oath in front of the, I think it was the Senate Armed Services Committee, that Google is working for the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Go figure. The same company that ditched "Do No Evil" from their corporate motto, and also gave up a couple Pentagon defense contracts because the company said the Pentagon is not aligned with our values. Did everybody just hear me? Stop what you're doing and listen to what I said. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs said Google is an arm of the People's Liberation Army, and they don't want to do business with the Pentagon. What is going on in this country? I've about had it, folks. Thank God I believe in a well-regulated militia. China is slowing down. Awful GDP print. 6.2% the worst GDP growth in 25 years. And the Beijing government coming out, I think it was last night or our morning, whatever it was, slamming Trump's totally misleading trade deal claims. That the slowest, 27 years, sorry about that, 27 years slowest growth. He's just hammering China on Twitter, and they're coming out and saying the dude's lying. We're not getting anything done, folks. Signs point to the trade war dragging on as China strikes hard line tone. As I said, we're going to talk about FXI in our brief today. Really big nosedive. We've leveled off right at the middle of this Keltner channel, above the 50-day moving average. I think maybe sometime this week, the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, is going to get involved in their form of capitalism again and prop this market up. You're going to see one of these spikes, and then it's going to drop. So we might actually get a little bullish on FXI here. But overall, you got to be bearish on this thing. There ain't nothing happening in these trade negotiations. I was shocked. What was it, 2 weeks ago when Larry Kudlow said, well, Ambassador Lighthizer and Secretary Mnuchin might have to get involved in negotiations again. I thought they were, dude. When the president over at the G20 in Osaka said, hey, we're talking, we're back to talking, going to be a huge trade deal, huge. Nobody does deals better than me. We weren't even, the heavies aren't even talking, folks. This thing's going to get uglier. Stocks slip as banks post mixed earnings. The prop shop, the prop trading arm of Goldman, was the only reason they are still alive. Their FIC, the fixed income, currency, commodities, and investment banking division sucked. So lukewarm financial earnings, which does not bode well, right? Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan, all kind of hits and misses. Really not super good at all, which, again, listen to me, financials and transports tend to lead us in and out of bad. Okay, so what's that mean? The transport index is actually in bear market territory, the Dow Transport Index. So transport's not looking super hot. We've seen UPS and FedEx. We saw FedEx pre-warn twice before their last earnings about a month ago. And what happened? A little bit of a beat, and Wall Street thought they were doing great. It's standard Wall Street game, folks. If you can't hit the ball over the net, what do? You lower the net. So I don't know, man. We're at record highs here, and every time we've had one of these rip your face off rallies, we breather or go down, breather go down, breather go down, keep going up. No, that's not going to happen. We got a lot to do, man. Either today or tomorrow, we're going to talk about a trade that serves as a hedge in your portfolio. It is time to get long volatility, man. Okay. When do you fix the roof? When the sun is shining, not when there's a hurricane coming. And the VIX being almost back down here to our old resting heart rate of about $12 is ridiculous. It is time to get long volatility as a trade and a hedge, which we call a tredge. Retail sales rose solidly in June. Great news. Well, not if you're looking for a Fed rate cut at the end of the month, right? Stock market at record highs, GDP is good, growth is good, industrial production, a little bit of a mess. So we're seeing some hot and cold stuff. Why on earth is the Fed going to cut interest rates at the end of the month? You know why? Because Trump beat them into it, and also the market beat them into it. It's ridiculous. The Fed should be raising interest rates, not lowering them. That should not help all the Fed believers who are asking for a 50 basis point cut at the end of the month. So I said CSX is going to report after the close today. Looks like somebody knows something. Looks like some secretary might have gotten some news and leaked it, because CSX was up 2% before I jumped on the air. Look at that pop today out of CSX. We've been range bound for a long time here. Huge pop. Little insider trading, maybe. A lot of good stuff going on here. We have a solo Amazon trade on that's looking good. Amazon in the, day 2 of their Amazon Prime thing like that. I'm hearing record numbers from the reports I hear, and the stock's just kind of shrugging. That's fine. Why? Because we got earnings coming up on the 25th. So Amazon tends to relax and channel into earnings, and I think the same thing's going to happen this time. Like I said, we had a 3.5-day trade last week on limited risk. I think we were risking about $4,800, and we made $1,500. That was a 3 or 4 week trade. We got out of it in 3.5 days. Right? Potential profit in that trade was $2,100. After 3.5 days, making $1,500, go and take the money and run, just like Steve Miller said. I'm going to teach you how to do all of that stuff, okay? I got to get going. I got to get ready for our 1 o'clock primary live trade brief. Again, if you haven't registered yet, head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for full throttle. And if you haven't watched last night's replay, do it right now before we get into the trade brief, or you're going to be a little bit behind, because I cover our 7-step trade plan. Okay, head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for full throttle replay. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at 1 o'clock in the primary live trade brief.